Welcome to World Walkers Training. I'm Reverend Stephanie Neal. We're now on Chapter 8, Mother House, Ancestors, Veneration, and Conscious Incarnation. So let me quote Chancellor Don Lewis's description of the Court of the Ancestors. Quote, "The Court of the Ancestors is located where the Correllian leadership meet with the ancestors in the astral plane. This is a specific astral location whose details are not divulged and which changes in its specifics periodically. Ability to find the court of the ancestors without being led is considered a sign of a high-level conscious incarnate. Although the first priestess is considered the grand oracle of the tradition, both first priestess and first priest, as well as a number of others, are expected to be able to interact in the court of the ancestors. Many other Correllians also interact with the ancestors, but usually in other locations. Those that are not Correllian, yet are world walkers, also are found in this specific group. When world walkers work with the ancestors, we meet through the multidimensional transit point, where we delight in the golden fields of faith located at the end of the hall in front of the main escalators. Before moving on any further, let us describe a conscious incarnate. A conscious incarnate is an adept at completely being conscious when it is time to die or transition, moving through the process all the while keeping a steadfast awareness of everything happening. This makes it much easier for the selection process and quickly returning to your cosmic life bridge, unless you do not want to reincarnate right away. And when I say right away, I mean at least 1 year our time in our physical reality. Of course, when we are on the other side of the veil, a year feels like 5 minutes, and at times 5 minutes feel like 5 years. Then as time goes by, the concept of time diminishes until it is completely gone, although it was never there or here in the first place. As a conscious incarnate, there is complete awareness, full memory, thus full control as you return to the physical world. As world walkers, when conscious incarnates are transitioning, we help them remain focused on the concept of a swift return in a suitable incarnation that will ensure they are comfortable with the great work they have selected, and all the while working toward their higher purpose. Though every being selects their own general experiences, they desire to learn and sometimes how they will learn their lessons. Conscious incarnates are aware of their choices on both sides of the veil, on the most part. Now, a conscious incarnate, while in the afterlife or the physical life, can lose focus and forget what they were working on in the physical sphere, or remembering what they were working on and decide to walk away from what they knew and start afresh in their next life. There are many levels, all leading to the same place, just like there are many paths that lead to deity. From one level where each life seems to be separate and in sequence, to the opposite end of the awareness spectrum, where all lives are lived as one. There is no time or separateness between each life. World walkers can help the newly dead that are our conscious incarnates by staying in contact and communicating with them on a regular basis once they have passed to the other side, or by making sure the being has a swift passage. Our task is to keep them awake as they move through the veil, so they may select where they want to rest and enjoy the afterlife with their beloved ancestors. Everyone needs help from time to time. Everyone needs to be informed they are already completely awake. They already have the inner strength and confidence. They already own their innate power, their own timeless memories. A conscious incarnate helps others remember what they already know deep inside their core, and what monad family with which they belong, informing all with an open, pure heart to wake up in this dream, then wake up from this dream. All that is you living eternally. No time, no space between us, no time or space between us and the source. And yes, it is easier said than done. When you begin to remember, you begin to know your life is solely in your hands. No one else, your hands. You see, this is your life. First Priestess High Corral states, quote, once on the other side, the adept must remain focused on the idea of returning and must choose parents for their new incarnation, considering who will be conducive to the being's purpose, i.e., resumption of magical training and activities. In the case of a focused, seasoned adept, world walkers just assist rather than fully guide this process. Yet sometimes the world walker must actually guide, for the process may not always go so smoothly as expected, because the being keeps falling asleep, just like some folks here on this physical plane. The being may lose its focus and need to be reminded of its original intentions. Now, sometimes the spirit will change its mind and the process will end there. Chancellor Lewis writes much more on this subject in his Third Degree book. One can enter into the world walker's multidimensional transit point to visit afterlife conditions, just to get comfortable and to become acquainted with the surroundings and all that is offered here. There are many types of conditions in the afterlife. Even when a spirit is not earthbound any longer, it may not be aware of its transition, or if it is, may still try to experience the physical life it has just left instead of accepting its new state of being or new state of conditions. His ancestors will watch over him until he is ready to see his condition. In the afterlife, the spirit creates the reality it experiences, just like here in the physical realm. A person who was addicted in life to excess of food or alcohol or drama or drugs may recreate that experience in the afterlife. That perception is the reality of the spirit there and is all that it knows. There are always guides working with us to help us move out of this incredibly limiting state of preconceptions, really on both sides of the veil. A different form of limitation that can be experienced is that of depression, negativity, and lack. When a person dies, they take with them the habits, thinking habits and vibrations they have built in this life, or know they can release all old habits and start anew. Many individuals who die are able to be made aware when crossing over to their condition or new condition and release everything. Yet some remain trapped in the mental reality they have created in physical life, not remembering they are able to drop all those negative conditions created in the physical. This is where the world walkers and the guides help them remember they have the ability to remove all this. A spirit may experience this state of consciousness as being in a house that is dark and uncomfortable, where nothing works as it should, or as literally being in a prison. All eventually see the real reality of eternity, whereby everything is blissful and light. These conditions are part of soul rescue work. Do not attempt this work unless you have a good grasp of the reality of both sides of the veil. Your guides will make themselves known to you if you desire help in a specific situation. It is always powerful to work in tandem with your ancestors when helping the newly transitioned. Then there are the positive experiences of the afterlife. There is beauty in schools and libraries, living in the house you created long ago, or finding yourself living in an area you have always wanted to live, not to mention reconnecting with loved ones who have gone before. Just remember, much of what you may see is a symbolic expression of a state of consciousness. Close quote. So as you can see, your beloved ancestors are waiting for you to work with them on both sides of the veil. After mastering the exercises presented to you within this training, Leave 10% of your consciousness in your chosen object. Ask it to call you back in 20 minutes. Mentally carry the symbol of yourself in this time and place with you, and go to the multidimensional transit point with the intention of visiting the afterlife conditions. When you are at the bottom of the escalator, directly in front of you, see a wide set of double doors. Know the doors are the entrance to the afterlife. As you pass the doors, you will easily pass through 2 columns of light, one on each side of you. If you have trouble passing these columns, release all expectations and thoughts. You will then be able to walk right through. Ask your guides to be with you and listen for their guidance. As you journey here, listen to your higher self for guidance as well, the oldest part of you. Yet remembering it is you who always have the final word regarding your life and experiences you desire to express. Ask Source and the afterlife to allow you to see or experience only what you can safely handle at this time. Since we always incarnate consciously, with the help of counselors, the term is slightly inaccurate. Here it is meant as consciously choosing to incarnate once more, finding your way back to the Krillian tradition in your next life. Or you may decide to be a scientist so you can resume your life-saving research, or you may want to take care of the sea as an oceanographer. You may decide once you are on the other side that what you decided is not what you want after all, and that it's fine. But if this is something you want to do, begin now preparing for your next return. You will be able to prepare as a conscious incarnate just for yourself, or you may want to go further and learn how to help other conscious incarnates transition and incarnate, or you may want to teach others here in the physical how to be conscious incarnates on the other side of the veil. Or you may want to perform all of these skills. All skills dealing with the dead must be performed with a pure heart and good intentions. If not, the skill will be rendered useless. Nothing happens. Nothing is seen. Let us concentrate on how to be a conscious incarnate just for yourself. Strongly carry this desire in your heart and mind, and think about it as you would think with anticipation about a spectacular trip you plan to take. Think about the things you want to do and the experiences you want to have. Second, pick a specific object, such as a pentagram, and program your mind to remember this life and your decision to once more be what you want to be. When you see a pentagram in the next life, the pentagram will begin to activate your memory. Soon you will remember you are a conscious incarnate working within your family goals. When you take this decision to heart, before returning to the physical life, your guides and world walkers will work with you to help you remember, as they undoubtedly did in this lifetime. Decide what you want to do, experience, be, learn, and teach in your next life. What will you retrieve, and what will you give? What will be your gift to the cosmos? With the help of your guides and world walkers, design your next life as if you had the power to do so, because you do. Design your next life as if it were in your own hands, because it is. Design your place with as many details as possible. Once I had Sacred Sea members draw out a map of their next life on a big piece of construction paper. They specified what they want to do in their next life, their livelihood, their hobbies, how they are going to help humanity and Mother Gaia, what gender, race, country they are going to live, if they were going to live in an exciting city or quiet countryside. Some came to the wonderful conclusion they could obtain some of these goals in this lifetime. You too then create your next life in the astral plane, visiting it as often as you can, removing and adding more details. This soon will become a real life as it settles upon Mother Earth through your life. You see, you will be the portal to your life. Now we move on to another topic, the next leap. The ancestors are teaching and encouraging world walkers regarding humanity's next leap. The Homo Theta is our next human step. By learning about being a conscious incarnate in one way which plugs us into becoming a Homo Theta or Homo Thetan. The skill is essentially the same focus, being able to work with the nature of the soul, being aware of the timelessness between lives, past lives, and reincarnations, the beloved ancestors becoming much more present within our lives, showing themselves more and more. Yet, no, they have always been present. To be working as a world walker is a beautiful goal with many spiritual benefits for one and they all. As a conscious incarnate, you allow the break between incarnations to become a bridge, and instead of experiencing many short lives, you begin to build one long life with brief interruptions that seem to be one long life to you. This is a quiet, peaceable work. Chancellor Don Lewis writes in the Kirlian Third Degree book in part, quote, conscious incarnation, are we saying that the Thetan is a new kind of human? Yes, we are. Are we saying Thetans are a super race that will displace humans as we know them? No, rather Thetans are a new phase in human experience that all humans will develop into within the next few generations. No one will be displaced as such because everyone will ultimately make the jump. Some people see the development of Homo Theta as fulfilling prophecies of the end of the world and the dawn of another. As a tradition, we take no position on this, not being given to such ideas and perceiving as we do this change as being perfectly natural. There is no denying, however, that Homo Theta and the magical mind will be very different from the thinking mind and the emotive mind before it. Most notably, our relationship to death and rebirth will be very different as Thetans. Through the practice of conscious incarnation, which will become second nature in time, we will become much more aware of our past lives and perceive death as being only an interruption punctuated what is otherwise a very long life. We will also become more aware of what happens between lives and of the other side in general. Now, one drawback that the human race will learn how to overcome after becoming conscious incarnates is the negative behavior patterns brought forth from lifetime to lifetime, or even positive belief systems may turn negative due to humanity has evolved into the next phase with new positive ways to see life. Kirlian world walkers tell us as humanity developed the thinking mind, the shamans aided the process through the use of herbs and magic that was focused on expanding the ability to think in the abstract. The shamans may not have known exactly why they were doing this. They could hardly have conceived of the actual effects of the change taking place, but their practices stimulated from their higher selves directly and intentionally impacted change. Close quote. So now world walkers are following the ancestors' direction while focusing our efforts on continuing to evolve the thinking mind into the magical mind or Thetan, fostering growth through strong focus inside the Astral Mother Temple every Monday night, or visiting as often as you like. The Mother Temple is many things. One important purpose is to be a focal point of ushering in the magical mind to all of humanity. We have always used magic to continue pulling the magical mind into this reality once in a world walker's house. Everything learned inside the mother house is practiced outside the house. Now moving on to soul retrieval. Being clear inside of yourself. It is important for anyone who walks a magical path to be clear inside their selves. Magic comes from you and through you and intensifies any issues that have not been dealt with, such as emotional trauma, childhood pain, grief, loss, anger, etc. Soul retrieval is a method of inner house cleaning that heals all these things. It can also be used to remove any blocks or fears you may have about astral projection or about any subject. Utilize soul retrieval as needed to become clear and more effective. Now, soul retrieval. Do not perform soul retrieval more than twice a week. This is simple to do, but can have powerful effects. If you have someone who will read the script to you so that you can relax and experience it fully, is much nicer and helpful. You do not need to know exactly what needs healing. If bringing money into your life is difficult, or you have problems with relationships on a consistent basis, or for instance, ask to be healed of whatever is blocking you from these things. Most issues can be healed with doing this once, whereby some issues may need 4 or more soul retrievals, as healing may take place a layer at a time. So the soul retrieval guided meditation. Begin by sitting in a comfortable position. Be certain you will not be disturbed. Breathe quietly for a few moments. Ask Goddess and God to be here with you. Inform deity you want to be healed, describing this in detail. You can do this out loud or in your mind. Ask deity to heal a particular issue. See your healing as a shower of golden light flowing through you. Take a few moments to experience this light. See the light entering from above you and flowing through every part of your beautiful body. Ask deity to help you accept your healing. Feel this wave of warmth moving through you. Say, I accept. I accept. Continue to say this until you have the feeling of acceptance. Ask deity to help you to fully integrate this healing into your being. Feel this as a gentle wave of energy flowing into your heart. Say, I integrate my healing. I integrate my healing. Only stop saying this phrase until you have the feeling that the integration is complete. Now say, I give Deity all my burdens and pain associated with this issue that has been healed. I see my burdens and pain as battered, heavy packages in my hands. I now reach for my goddess and hand my burdens and pain over to you. See Goddess reaching forward to take your burdens from you. Suddenly everything given is consumed by a brilliant purple light as Deity takes them. Your hands are now free. Now is time for forgiveness. Regarding this situation, I forgive every person. I forgive the place. I forgive the situation. Release all attachments from all individuals and places regarding these situations. Then say, I forgive myself for anything that I blame myself. I now forgive Deity. Say, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive. Now it is time to say, I ask you, Deity, to help me reclaim my lost parts of my being which have been caught in this issue, which is now healed. I am ready to receive them back to myself. See in the distance tiny, glittering colored lights flying toward you, returning to you. Allow each light to return and enter. Now is time to ask, Deity, heal these lost parts that have now returned to my soul. Heal them. See once again our golden light shower upon each of them, saying, they are healed. I am healed. I am healed. I now ask Deity, help me have acceptance of healing of my lost parts. Feel this acceptance as a warm wave moving through you. Say, I accept my healing completely. Help me integrate my healing of my lost parts of myself into my being as I feel a loving wave of energy pouring into my heart. I integrate my healing fully. I am grateful to my Goddess. I am grateful to my God. I am grateful that I am able to open myself so all healing can enter my soul. I am grateful for my healing that I have completely received. I am grateful for my existence. I am grateful for how far I have come. Now gently ground, release, returning back to Mother Earth. We now move on to the meditation exercise regarding the witness. We can also take a portion of us found in the left companion of the heart chakra and fashion it into a witness. The witness, some call this creation a watcher. I learned of this creation as a witness. I like the term witness because the word clearly defines what it is. A witness has no capabilities but to only witness what is going on in another part of the world and understands with clarity what is right and what is wrong. It cannot intervene. Its sole responsibility is picking up energies, pictures, or tones. It is not intellectual in any way. When it returns information, it is you who interprets what is collected by the witness. Once information is collected, we can then astral travel to help the needy, armed with sound information. In other words, what is right for the situation. To utilizing the witnesses, bring your attention to your heart chakra as you clear and release. Focus on your heart chakra's left side, which is the left companion. See light coming out of your chest, presented as a stream of light coming out of your heart chakra's left companion. Extend this single ray of light outward from your left companion heart chakra, reaching the middle of the room. Once you see the stream of light stop at the center of the room, form a beautiful white lighted sphere at the end of the lighted ray. Create this orb with pure divine love, the kind of love that cannot be described by any human. Say, Goddess, and I form this sphere as a witness from your indescribable love and strength. Speak to the sphere, giving the orb instruction to be a witness for 15 minutes or another length of time if you prefer. Allow the witness to hover in the center of the room as you now address the sight, person, element, or animal to be visited presently. Just like entering another's dream, we always ask permission from the sight or person to enter. If the spirits of the sight or person sees you are morally right, they will entertain your request and can still say no if they desire. If the sight's spirit or individual's higher self says no, respectfully accept their free will and step away from the area. All sights and beings, higher self, will never allow anything to witness unless with approval from their higher self, and everything has a higher self. Now return your attention to the orb in front of you. See the witness as clearly as you can. Send the witness to the pre-approved venue to pick up the prevailing obvious energies with this time. And within this space, allow the witness to collect information and just relax. We now respectfully call our witness back to our place. When the orb returns, be completely peaceful. Ask the orb to reveal what was collected. Take notes or draw what you see. Thank your witness for helping you. Then lovingly see the witness quickly returning to its home inside the heart chakra's left companion, remembering to be genuinely grateful for this personification service. After evaluating the information, ask the ancestors to help you send healing, loving energies over the site the witness visited. Astral travel to the place and pour healing over the land or a wounded individual at soul level. Before returning, leave a little offering over this venue and all who live on it. Humans, plants, animals, water, air, earth. Leave an offering in honor to your faithful witness. Now call yourself back to your physical awareness by intention. Breathe. Thank you for caring for others. And from time to time, it is good to check back and see the site's energetic health. If more healing energies need to be administered, continue returning until you sense genuine health. Now, beauty is usually a sure sign the land is able to receive healing and growth. If clean water is seen, that too is a good sign of a healthy environment. Thank you. Until next time.